Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 21 of my favorite 31 rock and pop albums of the 70s countdown. We're doing 31 because, of course, there's 31 days here in the month of August in 2023. 31 favorite general rock and pop albums, right? So, of course, just to backtrack, we have done in previous months, we have done favorite southern rock albums, we've done hard rock and metal albums, we've done progressive rock albums. These are kind of the albums that don't really fit into any of those categories, so you're not going to see Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Yes, Genesis, Allman Brothers, Molly Hatchet, Lynyrd Skynyrd, The Outlaws. You're not going to see those bands. ZZ Top, right? These are all, I just shaved, so I got the aftershave cream looking a little too fresh here for the camera. So you're not going to see all those. These are just the general rock albums, right? The ones that didn't kind of fit anywhere else. Some great albums, right? I've limited myself to just one album for any band or artist. And that really made sense, right? I mean, there were a couple where I could have had maybe two, but for the most part, this is all about those one great albums by these bands and artists, right? So today, for day 21, this is the fifth studio album from this American artist, released September 29th, 1977, recorded at A&R Studios, recording studios in New York City, produced by Phil Ramone for Columbia Records. I'm talking about the unforgettable, never gets old, The Stranger by Billy Joel. New York's very own Mr. Billy Joel. Now, I know some of you watching who are maybe in different parts of the country or different parts of the world, Billy Joel might not be a big deal to you guys or you gals, but to this New Yorker and a lot of people I know who live in this area, Billy Joel is like a national treasure. He's one of our own. He's one who kind of rose up and really made a name for himself. I mean, who would have thought the guy who played Hammond organ and sang for the kind of proto-metal band Attila way back in the early 70s would become this kind of iconic, pop, rock, kind of singer-songwriter type of thing, who'd become this iconic figure here in the New York metropolitan area, and in definitely parts of the world, because Billy's had lots of success everywhere. But yeah, this is just one of a few great albums that he put out during the 70s and even into the 80s. I would argue that Billy does not have any bad albums. All of them are very good, solid to very good to great. And this, to me, is his greatest achievement. So, of course, this album features the talents of Billy, of course, on vocals and acoustic and electric piano, various keyboards and synthesizers. Richie Cannata on saxophone, clarinet, flute, tuba, also some organ. Dominic Cortese, accordion. Richard T. also on organ. Hiram Bullock plays electric guitar on this album. Steve Kahn plays electric and acoustic guitars on this album. Some cool jazz guys on this album, right? Hugh McCracken, acoustic guitar. Steve Berg, guitars. Doug Stegmeyer on bass. And, of course, the great Liberty DeVito on drums. So what do we got on this album? I mean, this album is kind of like a greatest hits of Billy Joel, one after another. And again, if you kind of grew up in the New York area and listened to a lot of, FM or AM rock radio, I mean, most of these songs were played on the radio at some point or another, right? Moving Out. Moving Out, Anthony's song kicks off the album. What a great song, right? Then you get the very cool, kind of darker, The Stranger, the title track. Awesome song. Just the Way You Are. I Love You Just the Way You Are, right? Great little ballad, right? Breezy little pop song. Awesome stuff. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Bottle of white, bottle of red, right? And that's the scene right there, folks. Yeah, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is, for us Italian Americans here in this area, a legendary song. It's awesome. That's awesome. And I love the fact that Billy and the band were never afraid to do like longish songs. I mean, that song is like almost 8 minutes long, right? Very cool. You got Vienna. Vienna Waits for You. Vienna is lovely. Then, of course, the great anthem, Only the Good Die Young. Then the tender, She's Always a Woman. And that vocal harmony from Billy. Awesome. Get It Right the First Time. Awesome. And Everybody Has a Dream. Also good. And arguably, and that's also kind of long. It's almost 7 minutes long. You could say probably the last two tracks, Get It Right the First Time and Everybody Has a Dream, although really good songs, those are really the only two on the album that didn't get lots of play either on radio or played live all the time, right? So really, out of all 9 tracks, 7 of the 9 are really, really notable songs featured on greatest hits collections and live albums and played live and heard on the radio, all that stuff. Just great. And even those 2 songs, like I said, are really, really good. So, I mean, I love this album. This album has been, and a bunch of Billy Joel albums have been part of my life. You know, my parents listened to Billy Joel, and it's just one of those artists that if you live around here, granted, I do know people who are from around here who just don't really care for Billy Joel, but they don't really like this kind of music. But most people who, you know, are into like pop music, just general rock music, and you know, radio stuff, you know, grew up with this guy, and it's just a legendary album. All right, let's look at the charting positions and stuff. Australia, number 2. Canada, number 2. The Dutch album charts, number 36. In France, number 15. In Iceland, God, have we ever mentioned Iceland on any of these? Not that I know of. Number 3. Apparently Billy is big in Iceland. Cool. Sal in Italy made it to number 21. Not too shabby, right? Japan, number 3. New Zealand, number 2. The UK, number 24. I know Billy's not that big in the UK. I've had these discussions with UK folks before, you know. US Billboard 200, number 2. And again, another one in Zimbabwe. Number 5 in the Zimbabwean charts. Go figure, right? Let's see. The 2008 reissue. This charted once again in Japan at number 28. Right? Cool. As far as certifications go, Australia, platinum seller, 50,000 units. In Canada, 5 times platinum, 500,000 units sold. Makes sense. It was a number 2 album there, right? France, 75,000 units sold. In Hong Kong, platinum, 20,000 units sold. Japan, gold, 377,000 units sold. Odd number, 377. Whatever. New Zealand, 4 times platinum, 60,000 units sold. UK, gold, 100,000 units sold. And in the United States, as of the last certification, 11 times platinum, 11 million copies sold. That's nothing to sneeze at, folks. As far as singles go, let's see what we got here. Just the Way You Are was released in September 1977. Moving Out, Anthony's song, November 1977. The Stranger, the title track, May 1978. Only the Good Die Young, May 1978. And She's Always a Woman, July 1978. So they were still releasing singles a year after this album was released. So that's the kind of staying power that it had. As far as awards, 1978, Billy Joel won a Grammy Award for the song Just the Way You Are as Record of the Year, and another one for Song of the Year for the same song. Yeah, I mean, classic album, in my opinion. Classic album. So that is my pick for today, pick number 21. Billy Joel, The Stranger. Let us know what you think of The Stranger down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 21. And we'll be back at you tomorrow for number 20 as we go into the top 20. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you in just a little bit for Friday morning at the Funhouse alongside Martin Popoff. And we've got a fun show for you today. We're going to be talking about what makes album. This is a request from a viewer. What makes albums sound dated or sound timeless, right? We're going to be talking about lots of elements that make albums dated sounding or timeless, right, in our opinion, right? So you may agree or disagree with some of the things that we bring up, but that's what it's all about, is sparking discussion. So I would imagine that the chat and the comments section will be full of all sorts of people's opinions and comments and feedback on what makes an album sound dated to a certain time or era. You know, what elements of the creation of albums. We're going to be talking about production and lyrics and fashion and instrumentation and all sorts of good things. The delivery method, the genre itself, right? All these things that may make albums sound dated, but also what elements make an album timeless, right? What things attribute to all that? So that's all coming up in just a little bit. Also later today, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the next installment of the Professor's Picks. Ken Golden will be telling you guys about some really cool albums that are coming out today, available today in prog, in metal, and fusion. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we've got the UK Connection tomorrow. Simon, Stephen, and myself will be talking about our favorite and least favorite albums from Motorhead. And then on Sunday, George Lemmy and I will be ranking the albums of the great progressive metal, fusion, prog, instrumental power trio Animals as Leaders. If you have never listened to Animals as Leaders before, check out the show. This is music you could have never imagined in your entire lifetime. Otherworldly. We're going to somehow try and put these albums in some sort of order. I don't think it really matters. I think it's just cool we're talking about these albums because they're amazing players. The stuff they do is just incredible. So all that coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for all of it, and we'll see you then. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for number 20. Take care. Bye-bye.